Hello, folks. We're live. It's Stout Sunday. We are looking at porters and stout porters. I'm in Louisiana with Louisiana Stout Reviews. Michael Komaroff is the Stout King. He's in Brooklyn, New York City, New York. And Beverage Ramble is in Georgia. And y'all lucky because y'all almost lost yesterday. But no, Kentucky just made a good show of it. They couldn't really do anything.
That was not a good show. Barely got by. So did Ohio State.
Yeah,
in Maryland, that was a little nerve-wracking there, but
don't mention Michigan and TCU. All right, I am in Louisiana, and I have a product that is from Louisiana, and I have showed it before on Stout Sunday, but it might have been 3 years ago. This is from Port Orleans, right along the Mississippi River on Chapatoulas Street, and if you can spell Chapatoulas, you've got something going on. This is called Coffee Break, and it is a French truck coffee stout, and it's one of those adhesive labels, it's stick-on label. It says it's a New Orleans style. That doesn't mean much. 6.5% alcohol. It's very dark. It's mostly malty, not hoppy, and it's midway between bitter and sweet, just slightly lifted over to sweet. And it says New Orleans traces its quote unquote coffee break back to the 1840s when Rose Nicode operated her stand out of French Market stall number 16. This time-honored tradition inspires our stout collaboration with our neighbors at French Truck Coffee. I've never had a French Truck Coffee. Brewed using hand-selected Central and South American coffees, Coffee Break will change the way you think about cold brew. Of course, most of you can't even get this product.
So nope, we can't.
You won't be able to try it. All right. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at. 6.5. I'll try to find the IBUs. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. And I'm pretty sure neither one of you have ever had this.
Have not.
No.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Okay. I attempted to do this one 2 weeks ago and wasn't able to do it, so I'm doing it today. It's Left Hand Milk Stout from Colorado. It's a nitro.
Nice one.
6% alcohol, 25 IBUs. And what's the city in Colorado it is from? Is it Denver or is it Colorado Springs? Where's Left Hand? Anybody know?
Denver. It's
Denver?
It's
Longmont. Longmont.
Yeah. If I
Same
saw the
area
bottle,
as Oscar Blues. It was also in Longmont too, and Brevard, North Carolina.
Well, I will be examining this one, and Left Hand does have a fairly good reputation with nitros. They've done it for a while and seems to do a pretty good job with it. I've had this before, but a revisiting is always good on this show.
Investment.
Also, they got this Galactic Imperial Stout that's really good too. Galactic Cowboy, I think it is called. I have the Founders Porter, 6.3% ABV. And I'm pouring it right now in my glass.
Didn't the Beastie Boys make a stout called Intergalactic? Oh, wait, never mind.
The Beastie Boys are legendary. So this is my Founders Porter. That's what I have, 6.3%. Founders based in Michigan, of course. No, 6.5%. Take that back. So.
Oh, let me change it.
6.3, 6.5%. Forgive me for that. So. And very good old school fashion porter. And there you go.
Thank you. So let's see. We got 6 people watching. That's great. Anybody want to join?
More.
I will put it. Here is the link. Good morning, Jason.
Fire Tuck, Jason Cleveland, Wings and Pizza among them.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if chicory is really a Louisiana style. It's sort of common here, but I think other states might have it. Oh, Founders Porter is great. Yeah, I don't know if New York and Georgia get coffee and chicory, but I assume they do.
Good morning, Spencer.
I think it's just known because in New Orleans it's a feature thing. We get chicory here too, but it's not as widespread. You can find it, but it's more. It's not centralized like it is in New Orleans.
Yeah. I used to get it all the time, but then the price got.
Where is Mr. Anili today? Where's Mr. Anili this morning?
Good question.
Okay, look, Jay, we miss him.
I don't know. You probably got.
I mean, I'm not on.
You probably have a secret agreement with him to do a sudden stout.
No, but I don't have any.
You probably got a secret agreement with him. Y'all gonna.
That was a spontaneous deal. This is the regular thing. It's supposed to be on every Sunday at 10:30. That's all I'm saying. I mean, look, he has his own life. I understand. I'm not second guessing what he's doing. He's out with his girlfriend having fun. That's fine. I'm not. Look.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Whatever.
John, we miss you.
I've been married 40 years. I know there's interplay in relationships. I got it. We miss John. Don't we miss him? That's all.
We do.
We miss him. Whatever.
Right.
Probably laid up in bed, resting, probably.
Whatever he's doing.
We would like him to be here. All right.
Let's get to the stouts and porters, or in this case, only stouts, right? No, you got a porter, huh? So we have stouts and porters.
That's right. You guys got 2 stouts. I got 1 porter.
Yep.
Oh boy, I'm gonna need a recommendation about food pairing, guys. I'm gonna get your idea on that. Your thoughts on that. That'll be later.
Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, always good in the morning with breakfast.
Indeed.
Saying that because I wanted everybody to know that 40 years ago, the band was out on the field.
That's right, Cal and Stanford. Yes. You know.
Nina Yordi is here as well.
Hey, Nina. Was good. Happy Sunday.
Craziest ever ending in college football.
Yes, it was.
And that's some advice to everybody. When the game's not quite over, don't let your entire band go out on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're trying to lose. All right.
But that's kind of odd to have a band play after the end of a football game. That's kind of weird, but
no, they do that. No, they do that. They do that down here. They when the LSU games or Tulane games over, the band will have like a little concert after.
Okay.
But they wait till the game's actually over to come on to the field. But all right. Now pretty thick, creamy head of beige foam, dark brown appearance. I think I will try to find the website. Not that it'll be much to look at, but let's see for what it's worth what change. Orleans. I've passed it. It's next to the port. That's why they call it, because these are locked in there unloading things and all of that. So it's definitely an industrial area.
Port Orleans. I think you
There we go. And that's why they have a hill.
Didn't you and Dave did a review of a beer from Port Orleans?
We probably did one of them.
Okay.
We probably did a number. We did 2 or 3 because they're, like I said, they're common down here. They're common,
Right. Common beer, like Anchor, common beer. Anchor steam beer, common.
Yeah, just like you could find it like every, it might be sitting on the shelf, you know. But let's see. I'm trying to find the link to it, to this particular one. Let's see. Come on, baby, quick, do it. Is it series maybe? Let's see. Their website not user friendly. Okay. I'm gonna go to the screen. Y'all can. It's a blank screen right now. Okay, I'll give it a little more time, then I'm going to just give up.
That's like Jackie Gleason.
Might be a let's.
Well,
Yeah, but it's
Jackie
a guy that used to play is Gleason, and he developed ALS, you know, Lou Gehrig's disease.
Right.
He's confined to a wheelchair now. It's pretty sad when I see him at the games. He just can't move.
Steve Gleason,
like
right?
40 years old. Yeah, it's a sad thing.
Yeah.
It's a bad disease.
Yeah. Well, this website doesn't look like it's wanting to show anything, so I'm not gonna.
I did see something.
Yeah, they had that one Gleason beer. That's all he got when he clicked on
fighting
beers.
with it. I'm sure.
And why do websites do that? I mean, you go in there and you click on something, and especially when you're going through your phone, it just okay. Where's the information on the beer? I don't see it. You know, why have a website? I don't understand.
Here we go. Okay, so using their single origin Guatemala and La Cogue Grand Rouge blend. Now that tells me nothing. La Cogue Grand Rouge blend. Where is it from? So we obviously have a Guatemala coffee, but I don't know where La Coque Grand Rouge is from. It will change the way you think about cold brew. Yeah, well, let's see if it's going to change the way I think about cold brew. We'll get to the next website in a little bit. That's kind of funny because I don't have any ideas about cold brew. I never drank cold brew coffee. I'm not opposed to it, but honestly, I don't drink it. Okay, I know people like to pay a bundle of money for it. It smells like a stout, generalized, you know, regular stout, and it smells like cold brew coffee, both of which I am favorable towards. I mean, I'm doing Stout Sunday. Obviously, I'm favorable towards it. Let's go with the sip. Cheers.
Cheers.
The flavor. Yeah. So it's very coffee forward now. So I know some beer reviewers that don't like coffee. Fair enough. Nope. You don't have to like coffee. But they would not like this. I mean, it's gonna just set you off because it's so coffee forward. You know that cold brew coffee has like that bitter, almost like powder taste. So, or feeling. So yeah, to me, it's good because I'm not, I'm kind of into this kind of thing, even though I don't drink it. I would be into it if somebody would bring it to me free every day. The body's medium. It's semi-dry. It's not really too dry. But look, sweetness, no. There's virtually no sweetness in this stout. So if you don't like a dry stout, that's another warning sign. Stay away. Bitterness, it's minimal, honestly, maybe 1.5 hop cones. So It's not sweet at all. The bitterness is low. Now, so you might be thinking, well, where's the flavor? What kind of flavor could it have? It's got no sweetness, got no bitterness. It's the coffee bitterness, the coffee grounds, the cold brew powder, like so that's where it's coming through. It's almost making you want to get up and get some cream and put cream in it.
Jay, what's the carbonation like?
Maybe sugar. That's a good question, Michael. It's low. It's not a flat drink, but it's heading down towards flat. So as you can tell by the way I'm describing this product, it's a rather unusual stout. It just depends. Like if you like these little quirky, kind of idiosyncratic products, little strange, little niche products, you might like it. If you have a particular way about you, you don't like anything off the path, yeah, you might find it kind of funny, but and I don't mean in a comical way, but I like it. But I live close to New Orleans, and I'm used to drinking and eating these kind of little peculiar products, so it doesn't really bother me. But it's definitely tastes like something you would get in a port city. I don't think you'd drink this Alaska. But anyway, if I ever drive back up to Georgia or Brooklyn, New York City, I think I'll bring some of this, assuming I find it again.
It's Michael's turn.
John, you can go. I don't care.
Sure. Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Michael. You're on.
I guess I'm going. Okay. I don't care.
Right.
It didn't matter.
All right.
It didn't matter. It's okay. I don't stand on ceremony. I don't care. Okay. So anyway, here we go. We're going to do our standard center pour. I'm using a big glass, so there's no chance of trouble, which I've had before. Okay. So now, can everybody see the effect of it? Jean, you're not looking. You're missing the nitro effect.
Yes. Sean don't pay attention to this. It's a reverse cascade.
It's a reverse cascading. The bottom is the beer. The top is the nitrogen.
The nitrogen,
whatever.
right.
And literally what'll happen in the next few minutes is it'll be completely come up. And right now you have like a beige head that's very pillowy and bubbly. And it looks luxurious. If you're into the look of the beer, it looks really luxurious. Okay, so let me get a nose on it. It's dark brown in color. You really cannot see through it. Let's see what we got going. Okay, so you're getting dark roasted malts. I don't know, maybe some background coffee in this too, but maybe that's the 25 IBUs. The bitterness you're getting is like kind of a coffee kind of smelling bitterness, but general bitterness. And that's about all I'm getting in the nose. But you can see in the way it looks that it's going to be smooth. But let's give it a taste and see what we think.
Cheers. Cheers. And I'm going to try to look at the website. Oh, and by the way, David Garlapete was sending me messages. He's watching.
Okay. So
what do you say?
Did David say anything specific?
Comment.
Okay. It's smooth. It's smooth and creamy.
He just up. I said, yeah, we'll stream.
As you can see from the... Jay, you can read because I don't want to look closely. You can read whatever you want to off the website.
Okay. He said, tell everyone I said hello.
I guess I could read the malts and the hops. I can see that. Two-row, crystal, chocolate, Munich, roasted oats, flaked barley, rolled oats, flaked barley, and roasted barley. And the hops are, what is that, GTZ? US Goldings. CTZ and US Goldings. And there's lactose used in this, as there are in a lot of the nitro products.
And it's 6% alcohol 25 bitterness units.
25
And
IBUs.
David said to tell everybody hello.
Hello, David. Okay. I really do like this beer a lot, but I think if you don't like creaminess and lactose in beer, and there are probably people who don't like lactose, I would stay away from this because this is very lactose forward in its thing. And I think a lot of nitros are that way. The carbonation is low to medium, but there's definitely, you can't see it because it's too dark for you to see it, but there's a lot of carbonation happening right through the middle and all the way up. And trying to think if I'm getting, you're getting the roasted malts and the flavor. What I smelled as coffee bitterness is probably not coffee. It's probably just generalized bitterness from the dark roasted malts. Very smooth, very easy going, goes down pretty easy. It's 6%, which is just a little bit more than a session beer. So it's not like it's intense. You're not getting the thick kind of stuff you get in higher alcohol products, but it is what it is. And for people who've only had beers that are brewed with carbon dioxide, nitros are a nice thing to change, but they're not earth-shattering, if you know what I mean.
Did you get a single or you bought a 6-pack?
I got this as part of my co-op mystery pack.
Okay.
So you buy 12 beers and they end up costing you like $1 a piece. And you can get anything from pretty much anything. And as long as it's in date, I'm usually pretty happy. They sometimes try to stick some Pilsners and lagers in that are past the date. And sometimes they're still okay. But, you can't get an IPA that's, 6 months past the date, because by then the hops are all whatever. So anytime you can get a thing like Left Hand for $1 a bottle, that's a good deal. I mean, you at the co-op, if you bought this singly, it would probably be like $1.89, something like that, $1.79. So you get these beers like at half price, a lot of them, because they're trying to get them sold before they reach their dates. And did this one have a date on it? I don't even know. It's usually in the neck of the bottle. I don't see anything on this one, but it's definitely.
I very rarely see their dates on there. It might be on the side, but if it is, it's very minimal writing.
And with these type things, you can rub them off just by rubbing it. They don't stay on. That's why I like cans better, because on cans, a lot of times they're on the bottom and you can actually still read them. They do get rubbed out sometimes too.
Yeah, that yellow paint really gets rubbed off easily, doesn't it?
Yes.
I don't have anything negative to say about this. Like I said, it's not going to knock your socks off, but for what it is, a nitro milk stout, it's doing everything that it's supposed to do. And I'll have a number for you when we come back around.
Okay. Yeah, but what I was saying is that yellow paint gets wiped off real easily, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Okay.
I saw you block someone on there, Jay. Good, thank you. How does knuckleheads
chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, sex chat. I had a feeling that wasn't really something we needed to be dealing with. Okay.
Yes.
But they said, but they did say they had the hottest chicks. So
this morning I got the Founders Porter. Founders Porter, 6.5% ABV. I've been sipping on it for a little bit here since you guys have been talking about your respective beers. Nice little head, as it was pretty much gone, but still nice lacing, still inside, nice creamy look to it. Can pour soapy black, creamy tan head, sweet and with strong chocolate and caramel malt presence. No absence of hops. Founders Robust Porter. And as we go further down the line here, how it's available and whatnot. IBUs is 45, 200 calories. So, this is a very good, healthy beer to consume. So, all right, let's have at it. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, John.
yes.
Again, I've had this
Cheers.
before, and I have never been disappointed in this. Definitely strong. Definitely strong. Some dark chocolate or semi-sweet in this. Definitely nice roasted malt to this, but I'm not getting that caramel malt presence that they mentioned in there. You know, a very respectable, enjoyable porter. And porters tend to be sweeter than stouts. You know, it depends if it's an imperial stout. That's another question by itself. But most porters tend to be very sweet, and this has a good sweetness to it. And again, the dark, semi-sweet chocolate, dark chocolate, whatever, it's definitely in this porter. And probably more easy porters you can pretty much easily get anywhere across the country. I know Founders distribution is very good. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I wouldn't pair with any
what's
food.
weird about this beer?
What's up, my friend? What's weird about it?
It's one of the few craft beers. It's one of the few craft beers around today that's not sold in cans.
That's very true. You look at the other beers that Founders have, you know, the all day this and the all day that, but if you look at their the breakfast stout is not in cans. KBS obviously is not in cans. Definitely the CBS, if hopefully they'll come back one day. Not in cans. Everything is all in bottles. So, which I guess, hey, you know, we know cans are cheap, and you can basically cut costs doing that, putting things in cans. But you know, certain good things, certain good treats deserve to be put in a bottle. You know, so.
Wouldn't that be strange if Bourbon County Stout hit the market on Black Friday in cans?
Yes, very odd. Like, huh? What's this? Yeah, so nothing negative to say about the Founders Porter, guys. Really good. I have my score coming up.
Jay, do you have any idea how the nitro in the bottle gets the nitro effect without the widget?
No. I thought about that oftentimes, but I don't know the answer. They must just.
I've had other bottles.
Charge. They must just charge it into the bottle and hurry up and cap it. And it's when you open it, it just comes under a lot of pressure.
It maintains its pressure over time, and then when you do that direct pour, it creates the same effect, I guess.
Yeah. Now, if you wait 5 years, you might be disappointed. You know, it might slowly seep out. But I really don't know the science. I'm more of a drinker than a scientist. But anyway.
Craft Beer Tastic had asked about it. That's why I'm answering him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's actually a good question, but I have no kind of answer. I know that the widget is a new thing. It only started in 1992. That's only 30 years ago. The first company to do the widget in the can was Boddington's.
And then Guinness followed.
Right after that, Guinness followed, and then Wexford, and then Tetley's Cream Flow, and John Smith Ale. And that was like a thing in England, mainly England and Ireland. It's not really a thing in America. You know, think about it. Think about what are the widget can nitros in America?
Well, let me see I did have one not too long ago. Let me see what it was. I'll look here.
A widget can?
Yeah, there's one with a widget can. What's the company? I know I did it here. I'll find it. It's the one with the, I haven't done it on this show, but it's one with the mint. I know I did it. So I just have to find which one.
Oh, the Southern Tier?
Southern Tier. Those are with widget cans.
Wait a minute. Are you sure they have a widget in those cans?
Yeah,
I don't recall.
That's why they're underfilled. The cans are underfilled. So the can is underfilled because if you look inside the can, there's a widget in the top which takes the space. So you can't fill a beer, because if you do, when you open it up, it'll explode. So those are, let's say it looks like it's a 12-ounce can. It's really only 9.6, and the widget's at the top of those cans.
Right.
That's the only one I've seen in the United States, Southern Tier, that does it. There may be somebody else that we haven't seen that does it too. I don't know.
And I have to say that I don't like that.
Okay, well, because they're actually making more money because the widget is cheaper than the 3.4 ounce or the 2.4 ounces of beer that they're not putting in that can.
Right. I'm like you. I'd rather have the beer than the. I don't really get too excited about 9.6 ounces. Do you?
I don't. And in a 16-ounce can, which they also make, you only get 13.2 ounces. So either way, you're losing beer off the top. But to get the nitro effect, Jay, there has to be room, or else there'd be a lot of exploding beers, and that wouldn't be nice either. So I understand.
No, but I bet we've talked about this so many times. These expensive stouts, and some of them are not nitro, like the Dragon Stout Fire, John Courage Russian Imperial Stout, which is world class, one of the top rated beers in the world. But you still only get 9.6 ounces. I mean, come on, 9.6 ounces. You take your first sip, you basically finish with the beer.
You're right. And even we're still angry about the 11.2 ounces on What's that about? Why can't they retrofit it to 12 ounces like our system? What's that about?
Yeah, and then they'll say, well, that's a European thing. But
America.
But wait, there's a problem. There's a problem because Spaten Optimator in the regular Spaten Helles comes from Munich, Germany, and right there in a 12-ounce can and bottle. Heineken comes from the Netherlands, 12-ounce bottle. So that's just a joke to say that it's a European thing. They just don't want to give you the full 12 ounces. I mean, it's obvious.
And Jay, you have a choice. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
There you go.
That's right. And I agree. And you know what? Oftentimes I go to the grocery store and I see Pilsner Urquell on the shelf, and I say, "Oh, I love that beer," but then what stops me?
Is it a Czech thing? Is it related to the Czech Republic? Well, is it an 11.2 ounce bottle?
Now,
I
don't care about the political aspect. I care about the 11.2 ounce per bottle aspect.
And they tend to be pricey too, because they're the first, Pilsner ever made, whatever. So
yeah, I mean, so I just say, well, maybe next time, because it's like every time you drink it,
sorry about you.
right at the point where you're just loving it, it's gone.
Commerce Ozzy is drinking an 11.2 ounce beer right now. I don't know. He didn't say what it was.
Sorry, Commerce.
Deceptive folks, like the Decepticons. Don't be deceptive to the consumer.
Consumers matter, John.
I know we do matter, and give us the full 12 ounces. Damn it!
No one cares about the consumer. Okay, I'm calling Elon. I'm gonna tell you right now. As soon as I get off this hangout, I'm calling.
Jay,
Elon.
you want to go back? You want to go back on Twitter? You've been knocked off. You want to go back? That's what you need to ask Elon. Let you go back on Twitter.
I could be reinstated.
Oh well, I got kicked by getting. But I just shouldn't have said it. But been a game. Then actually, I've never had a Twitter account in my life.
Me neither.
But with my computer system, I probably only have 10 followers. All right. Anyway, I like this product. Okay, it reminds me of the Vietnamese cold brew coffees that you can get in New Orleans East. That's a different type of thing too. I can see it's not going to have a mass appeal because it's so dry and it's so, like you were saying, kind of flat in the carbonation. I'm amazed you picked that up and you're not drinking it. But still in all, it's a mighty fine product. It's all about what you like to. It's kind of like Limburger cheese, it's. Most people would gag to eat it, but some people like it, All right, so I'm going to score it 93. No, 94 out of 100. Now, my friend David tells me, oh, you give everything an A. You give it. I said, no, that's not really true. And secondly, to be more accurate, think about all the videos I've made, that's thousands. How many beers have I actually given an A+ score to? It's very few. So the way I look at it, an A is just like, ain't nothing special about an A. To get an A+ or a world class is almost unheard of. And it's very rare, maybe once or twice every 2 or 3 years or less, that I'll get an A+ or 100 above 100 world class beer. So those are the real special ones. And it's just a handful of beers I've had over the years that score A+ or above. So I think people need to look at that with a little perspective. So, but I'm gonna give this a 94. It's very nice, and that's all I gotta say about it. Now, Mike gonna talk about his left hand here from Colorado and North Carolina.
There it is again from Longmont, Colorado. Left hand milk stout, Nitro America Stout, and it says super smooth with soft roastiness and mocha notes. I guess there are mocha notes in it. That's fair. And as you can see, I don't know, the light's kind of weird here, but there's just the bottom is left. So it's very drinkable, and I'm going to give it a 93. So that mine's an A as well. If you've never tried a Nitro in a stout, you should try one. There's other ones beside this. Guinness has a Nitro that you could try as well. There's a lot of them that have nitros. This one is a very good one. But like I said before, it's not going to knock your socks off. You're not going to say, boy, this is the most amazing thing I've ever had, because it's not. But it's good. And I would recommend it. And certainly for people who want a change of pace and want something different than your typical, carbon monoxide charged beers, this is different. And the lactose and the creaminess is something I guess you either like or you don't like. But smoothness in beer to me can be very good. So 93, it's an A.
Do you sort of agree with me that it's not that difficult to get an A beer, but it's very rare to find an A+ or a world class one?
I do. Did you ever review the Belgian monastery beer, the one that you gave 100+? Was that ever in a video review? The Weston, what's pronounced?
Oh yeah, I did a number of videos for West Lateran 12.
Okay, because that's an A+ beer, A++. So that's a top mark. I mean, that's why.
Right, yeah, world class. It goes above 100. It's better than perfect.
And even some of the other Belgian monastery beers, the top end ones, probably are also above A's anyway. They're at least A+ too.
I would say that Chimay Blue, a Grand Reserve, Chimay Red Cap, those two are at least 100 at the minimum. If you were just finding all kind of faults, if you found all kind of faults with Chimay, you would go down to 100. But then you're going to pay $15. You're going to pay $15 a bottle, So
what is the other one they call the world's best beer? Delirium. What is it? Is it
Delirious Tremens.
right?
But I don't see. I
Oh,
actually think that's just an A to me. That's not
yeah, it's
even the
just an
top
that's
10.
not no, that's no, that's
I mean,
not.
that beer is pretty high. I think if this
Some
first I've
people,
gone
some
to, it's
people
like
give that
4.99.
100. Some people do give that 100. I just don't think it's there. That's just a personal thing. I've had that several times. That's
It's
my opinion.
high. Yeah, it's high, but it's not quite up to now as far as IPAs, if you ever try Pliny the Elder,
I have
that's
not
100.
tried it.
Oh, that's 100. That's the best IPA I've ever tried, and that is not even close.
Is it made from
Now,
the same people? Is it from the same people that did Delirium?
No, it's that Delirium is Belgian. That's the Pliny the Elder is from. Is it Russian River in
Russian
California?
River in California.
Okay. I'll be on the
That
lookout
thing is
for the line for that for
you
I
won't find.
see.
You're not going to find it.
You
You're
have to
not going
get
to
it from
find it.
somebody in California. They have to send it to you. It's not nationally distributed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
That thing,
Would you put in the Belgian category the Abbott 12? Somebody makes an Abbott 12. Would that be an A+ for you?
yes, and it's very difficult to find these days. Now, 10 years ago, Abbott 12 was everywhere, and Mathern's had it. But then what happened was all these craft beers came on the market with, passion fruit, IPA, and xylophone stout and all this. And so then classic beers like Abbott 12 and Chimay went off the shelves, so it became a problem.
And there's a big variation between 99 and 100. I mean, I don't even give 100. So 99 is the highest thing I ever do give. But maybe if I tried West Valerian 12, I would give it 100 because
Yeah,
I've
West
heard it.
Valerian 12 at least 100. That's 100 is a low ball score for that. And
no, but I would probably give it. I give it 100 anyway because I don't give hundreds, so I don't give 100 pluses because I don't even give hundreds. But I probably would give it 100. But how do you get your hands on one to try? That's the problem.
Right now, and you're telling me you've had Abbott 12, you didn't give it 100?
I haven't had it. I've just seen it.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. That could change things if you try Abbott 12.
And that is harder to find now than it was before. You're right. It was available before. I guess when I saw it, I should have picked it up, and I didn't. I should have bought it when I saw it. It's made by
10 years ago,
Kamikaze.
10 years ago, it was a
Saint Bernardus. Saint Bernardus makes it.
Right. And what happened there, the story with that. That's an interesting story. But we don't have time to go into it. But that's a very interesting story. Okay, now Jean-Pierre has his product, and he would like to give a score. He's very
I'm just listening to the conversation. I know Delirium, as you mentioned, it's like $4.99 for the for a can of that beer, and it says the world, and the label it says the world's best beer, and I've been curious on to get in.
Budweiser claims to be the world's best beer too, so think about it along those lines.
Yeah, so but something I want to try because I see it there. Also, I see that they have the glass bottle of it at Trader Joe's too, which is interesting.
John, it's worth trying. I can give you.
Yeah, like I said, it's worth trying. I'm gonna wait till around when I come back from my trip next week, and I'll probably end up purchasing it, getting it, trying it out, see what it's all about.
I can tell you a quick story. I can tell you a quick story, and I'll make it very fast.
Sure. Go ahead.
I'll give you a capsule story. I was at one of these beer events where you could drink beer free if you're willing to pour it. In other words, people pay all this money, $50, $60 to come and drink all these different beers. If you're willing to, now it was more to it than just pouring because you had to carry the ice around to load the different stations. So they got a lot out of you for this fact. You're pouring the beer. Some of it's, on tap, some of it's in bottles. So what happened was it was two different sessions. And this goes back a few years. This is before the pandemic, probably 10 years ago, maybe more than that. I was retired already, but it was a while ago. So anyway, we're doing this and things are going along. And the people who were pouring had to commit to 2 sessions. So the first session was like 3 hours, and then there was going to be a break and then another session. So in the middle of the session, they came around to ask the people if they were staying. And this is not a male-female thing, but this is how it broke. The women said, "We've had enough." And they just said, "We're not going to be here for the second session. You know, we did our first thing, and that's it." And they don't have replacement people because you can't just call somebody in off the street, you know, to pour beer. It has to be somebody who's into it. Whatever.
Right.
So they said, okay, so what we have to do is instead of manning the stations with 2 people, we'll have to man them with 1, which is fine. But the guys that were there knew that during the break, we were going to have to get something for this extra time that we're doing. So what happened was the break comes and the people who are supervising, they went out somewhere else for their break and weren't there to supervise. So we had all the delirium tremens there, and we said, "There's no reason for this to be tasted on the second half of the thing. We'll drink it." So what we did was the whole group of people, everybody who was there, came to the stations right around where they had it, and we just downed everything that was left of that. Just decided to drink it. And then when the supervisors they came, they said, "Where's the delirium tremens? We need some for the second half, people." And
hey, how it goes, right?
Sorry, if the females hadn't left, we probably would have not done this. And it wasn't a quid pro quo where it was done just for that, but it was almost like the people there knew how good that beer was, and it wasn't like we were trying to deprive the people, but it was like we thought we needed it more.
Right.
And it wasn't like there was a lot of it either because it's very expensive. So whoever put this thing together didn't have a lot of it, but there was enough that the people could have tasted it, and it was really good. But if I have to give you my number, I would give it a 98 on my scale. It wasn't my top. I've given 99s to the bourbon barrel-aged stuff like from Goose Island, you know, the Bourbon County. I've given some 99s to Founder stuff. So I have given 99s before. This was like a 98. This is not as good as the top-end Belgian monastery stuff.
But on the other hand, you wouldn't be turning it down either.
No, if we had more of it, we would have drank more of it.
Yeah.
You know,
well, like I said, I'm very curious of trying it and see what it is. So, like I said in the holidays, I'll probably, you know, get that on my way back. Because like I said, I'm really eager to want to see if it claims to be what it is. So, but that's
John,
a cool
if
story.
you like Belgian style stuff, you will like it. You have to like Belgian style. The Belgian yeast in this stuff is very intense.
Yeah, and they make 3 types. They make the regular, the nocturnum, which is dark, and they make the red, which is ruby red with cherries. Oh, and they make the Christmas. They make a Christmas version. So,
which is what I think that might have been the one I saw at Trader Joe's, I believe. Was it white?
Oh, I can't remember, but it's a Christmas.
Okay. We only had one of them, and it was the regular one. We didn't have the dark one. We just had the regular one. Okay. That's the one that I'm giving a 98 to. The other ones might be better. Maybe one of those is a 99. I never had it, so I don't know.
All right, so how do you score the Founders?
How do you score your porter?
Yeah, so for the Founders Porter, I give it 92 out of 100. Very enjoyable porter. I've had this before many times. Good dark chocolate or semi-sweet chocolate. I don't get that caramel presence there, but again, maybe because I took it out of the refrigerator, sat it on the counter for a little bit before we started. For a good while to kind of maybe the reason, but overall, just a very good, enjoyable dessert porter, in my opinion, at 6.5%. So that's my score. What did I say? 93 out of 100?
You said 92.
92 out of 100. Yeah. 92 out of 100.
And the price is very
yes, it is.
Nice,
yes, it is.
Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So, Jay, are we going to do a show and tell segment?
That's what I'm doing right now. All right. So coming up Wednesday, we have beers for fall. That's it. Till next year. Beers for fall. I have a pumpkin beer from Georgia, 8%. I'm ready to roll. It's a pint can. So I'm about to get my shine on. My shine on. All right. Why is somebody calling me right now?
What the hell? What in the world?
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so we got beers for fall, Fandango Friday. I still get that Philadelphia whiskey that Michael has. Michael got like about 90% of the bottle left. But anyway, but he's not too much for that kind of drink. But anyway, and then next Sunday, of course, Stout Sunday again. And show and tell. I was at Total Wine and More on Thursday, not yesterday. Total Wine and More on Thursday, and I bought this mezcal. It was $28. It's $28, you know. But hopefully it'll be good. It better be good for that kind of money.
And what is it? Mezcal, was that? Oh, a vodka?
No, mezcal is like what tequila is. Tequila is a type of mezcal.
Okay.
So when you think of mezcal, think of tequila, but it's not quite tequila. It's a little bit different. It's Latonas. It means the tone, and this tone is the coyote, But it'll be about 9 months from now before I try it. 8 or 9 months from now, and then I bought my 24-pack Advent calendar from Aldi. 24 different beers. I've done 3 so far, so I've got 21 left.
Okay.
And hey, that's going to keep me busy for a month and a half. So we got that going on. You know, so that's what's happening here.
Okay. I guess I'll start by saying I bought the 12 beers of Christmas from Clown Shoes, which is now owned by Harpoon.
Oh, they are. Okay.
And so far,
wow.
I won't say that it's been underwhelming, but it's been underwhelming. I guess I have to say it's been underwhelming.
Well, my only hope when these companies buy these breweries is that let them buy them, but just don't screw up the recipe. Let the brewers.
Well, I don't know that they've screwed up the recipe. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have the ones that are more susceptible to time first, and maybe those of the 12 are not the highest level ones. But I had one which is one of their supposed good beers, Space Cake, which was a 9% IPA, and it was a check plus, but it still wasn't anything that was you're not gonna go and say, oh, you better go and find this. I mean, there's a lot of other companies that have beers as good or better than that. It was okay, nothing wonderful. So I've had half of it.
Didn't Clown Shoes sort of have some problems before the buyout?
Probably, but I didn't know specifically what they were. Probably what you're saying is accurate. And Harpoon is it's owned by the people in the company. You know, but that can be a good thing. That can stop it from being taken over if there's enough money behind it, so they don't need to be taken over. So I guess the point I'm trying to make, I can't totally say that it was a mistake buying it, because if you looked at the beers, 8 of the 12 were best by 131 of next year. So they all were within date, but 4 of them are good until 12/31 of 24. So those last 4 beers that have the most shelf life on them, I'm going to save them into next year, and I'm not having them. And that looks like the best stuff that was there. So those 4. So if those 4 turn out to be good, then it was worth the other 8 not being great. That's how I view the purchase. It turns out what I paid for it, turns out to be $1.75 a beer, which is for a 12-ounce beer seems like a lot, but Jay, you've seen stuff for more, and people do pay more than that. So if the average turns out where those 4 turn out to be good, I'll be happy. And maybe one of these last 2 that I have will turn out to be good. One's a wee heavy, which is a style that's underappreciated, but I do like it. And the other looks like this kind of like fruity IPA with orange in it, which could also turn out to be good. I don't know. We'll have to see. But the alcohol levels are mostly in the mid-range. 6s, 7s. There are some 8s. The Space Cake, I think, was 9, but that's the highest. So there's no Imperial of it. But I'm always willing to do multi-pack ones with a lot of beers because I want to try a lot of different ones. All I'm trying to say is if you look at Clown Shoes and you say this is amazing stuff, from what I've had so far, it's not. But it's not bad.
No,
it's not bad.
It's just not amazing.
I'm giving B's, B pluses to these beers, and that's okay. It's not whatever. Nothing's gotten an A yet of the 6 I've had. So, and nothing's gotten worse than a B minus. So I guess it's average plus. And I remember older Clown Shoes before was better than this. But it doesn't mean it went downhill just because they were bought by Harpoon. They may have been on an ascent downward before Harpoon bought them. Maybe the brewer changed. Maybe they changed some of their beers. I don't have any idea. But I have to do the whole thing before I know what's going on. I got one more thing to show. If you can return me, or
okay.
You have some
before you show that, one thing I bought this past week. I bought a 6-pack of Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA. I don't know what y'all think about Dogfish Head 90-minute.
I've enjoyed the 90-minute. I've enjoyed the 90-minute IPA. I thought that was.
I like Dogfish Head. Now, has Dogfish Head
too.
gone downhill since they were acquired by Sam Adams? I don't know.
I think everything still tastes the same. I did the 90-minute, the 60-minute. I think I did I did something from them recently from Dogfish Head. I thought, they're still doing. Most of their stuff still tastes the same.
Okay, so the other thing I have to show, and I may have shown this before, I've had this since 2016. This is from Brooklyn Brewing, and it's their Black Ops. So this bottle was produced in 2016,
yes.
Which means that I have 2 of them. I have one in the refrigerator and one here. So it's 11.5%, and it's I don't know what the base stout is, but it's stout that's bourbon barrel aged with champagne yeast, which is different than all the other stuff we've had. I've never had anything with champagne yeast. So some people think it's amazing, and I don't know when I'm going to have it, but like I'm saying, there's 6 years on the bottle, so I don't know. It's 11.5%. I'm not afraid it's going to go bad. It's in the 25.4 ounce bottle with the champagne cork top on it. Brooklyn Brewery, which is in Williamsburg, is going to be moving to a new location.
Was it Rochester?
No, they're still going to be in Brooklyn. They're just moving a few blocks away. The beers that they sell are actually made in Utica, where Utica Club is made. But they produce beer on the site for promotional stuff, and possibly this was produced there because smaller batches I know they do at the brewery, but they're moving out of their site in Williamsburg where they've been to 30 years to another place like 4 blocks away.
Garrett Oliver, man, I got a man crush on him, man. He's the best.
He's definitely a great brewer, and I give him a lot of credit. I've never got to talk beer with him.
My friend David has a number of the Black Ops in his beer museum.
Oh, that's the next one I need to get.
All right.
I did their. Yeah, that's the next one I need to get because that's their. I did their black chocolate stout recently. So
it's a good beer too.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed as promos. I got 2 videos already up. Of course, I mentioned the Brooklyn Brewery Black Chocolate Stout, and I did the Burnt Hickory Big Shandy Imperial Stout, and the one from Campanology. That's the last review I've done was the Barrel Aged Stout, which I bought at Trader Joe's, guys. So that was one. Those are the 3 recent reviews I've done. They're up on my channel. As far as I have, I still have those 2 IPAs that I mentioned. I got the Hop Raider. And this one here, I'll show you. And this is the one right here that I have from 21st Amendment Brewery. This is the one right here I have.
I've never seen that one.
Brew Free or Die.
Maybe I've seen
No,
that
I
one
never
the
got
different. I've seen that one the different can, an older version of it,
Yeah.
not in that green can. Okay, I've had that.
Lincoln and Roosevelt right there, and kind of cool
David
can.
Garlapede sent a message saying he has a 2015 Black Ops in his museum.
I want
Wow.
that. I want to share. Hopefully, I come down and join y'all with that one day. That's awesome. And of course, this is the one right here from Voodoo Ranger, New Belgium, operator.
Oh yeah. Operator.
So I'm gonna review that one. Jay, of course, I'll be traveling on Wednesday, so I won't be joining you for Fall Beers this coming Wednesday night on your channel, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. I will be heading to North Carolina, and question mark for Stout Sunday, because I'll probably be traveling back. And but 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Pacific. Whether you or Mr. A, John Neely, Georgia Beer Reviews is hosting. But yeah, those are the two beers, and that's it. And food pairings, guys. This is what I was going to ask you. I'm making today. I got some sweet Italian chicken sausage I bought at Trader Joe's, and I'm going to add it with some pasta. What is a good beer to go pair with it?
I don't know, because I don't drink beer with my lunch. I usually just drink water and some wine.
Okay, I haven't had wine in a while, so
John, I think a standard IPA would be good with it.
Okay.
I don't think dark beer would go well with it.
Oh no.
Maybe Stone IPA.
Any
yes,
standard IPA I think would be good, and I guess pilsners and lagers would be okay too. I mean,
but no imperial IPAs.
Nothing small. Session a little bit more would be okay.
Okay.
But nothing too heavy duty. The other question, Friar Tuck asked, doesn't Clown Shoes use various breweries? They used to be, when they were independent, in Ipswich, Massachusetts, and probably were Gypsy to some extent, where they brewed stuff in different places. Since they're now owned by Harpoon, they brew out of their locations in Boston, Mass, and Windsor, Vermont. That's what the Clown Shoes I got set on the can. So I assume they're going to always brew their stuff out of the Harpoon facilities, since they're owned by Harpoon now.
The three beers I've had from them has been the Undead Party Crasher. That was their Imperial Stout. And I did the Hoppy Feet Black India IPA, and I did their Hazy Cake Hazy Double IPA. So
if you take a look on either Untapped or just online, they have a full line. They probably brew 20 or 30 beers. So they have the 12 of Christmas. There's some other ones that they have as well. But I will, by the time I finish, which will be sometime next year, probably reevaluate my thinking. And look, I spent $22 plus tax for 12 beers. How bad can it be? It's not any, it's nothing awful either way. And Jay, your 24 thing was what, $63.99? The one from Aldi was $66. Well, how much was it?
No. $49.95.
Oh, that's the price. Yeah, that's the price that I've seen at Aldi's for that. And also they got a champagne gift set, with glasses and three small bottles of champagne inside, and they also have a wine thing too with a glass, and I think about maybe a couple of bottles of wine.
Right. Yeah. They have that.
So,
they have that. Yeah.
I'm going to check Riedels today to see what they got.
I'm going to tell y'all what Clown Shoes beers I've had right now. I'm looking it up on Beer App. Here's the Clown Shoes beers I've reviewed. I've reviewed Baked Goods APA at 5.5%. Galactica Imperial IPA at 8%. Mango Kolsch at 5.5. Undead Party Crasher American Imperial Stout at 9%.
Good
that's
one.
It.
Very
Those
good.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 beers from them.
Well, the only one of the Christmas beers. Them.
They're hard. They're hard to find. Even here in Georgia, I've only seen one thing from Clown Shoes, and that's been might have been their IPA. But outside of that, not much else.
The one that was in the 12 beers of Christmas was the baked goods.
Well,
the other 3 were not. So
yeah, I mean, I'd like to try all their products, but it's a matter of availability, Well, we better get going. I got to call these people back. I got people calling me about stuff. So, but we had a good hangout. I thought it was a very good Stout Sunday.
Jay, thanks again for hosting in John's absence.
You're
We hope
welcome.
he comes back soon.
Thanks, Mr.
Yeah.
T. As always, fun.
And have a good football Sunday. Big giant game versus the Lions.
All I'm worried about is Thursday. I think we'll do okay against the Lions Thursday. Against the Cal Kids, that's going to be our real test where we see we're legit.
Got to beat the Lions first.
Yes, got to get the Lions.
Maybe next Sunday I'll come in with an Imperial Stout, like say maybe a Goose Island.
Yes.
But everybody have a good week. Everybody enjoy their week and have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Everyone watching, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Definitely.
Toodaloo, everyone. Toodaloo, everyone.